Well, first of all, just thank all you guys for being here. I just think it kind of shows the level of importance of Mississippi State baseball and how big the program is on a national scale where, here we are at the end of November and we have a room full of people, room full of guys and girls that are dying to hear about Mississippi State baseball and the things that we have, that we're going to be able to accomplish moving forward and, just speaks for the volume of people and fans in the state of Mississippi that love Mississippi State baseball and are looking forward to this upcoming season. So the last several weeks have been an absolute whirlwind for myself and my family. One of the first things I want to do is thank all the people in Starkville that have been so amazing and have had such a warm reception for myself and my family. They truly have been amazing. The day-to-day, people around town, restaurants, anywhere, everybody has been so welcoming in terms of just asking to lend a helping hand, asking about the program, asking about, where my kids are going to go to school and just all the really cool parts and pieces that make up this incredible community. And myself and my family are extremely excited to be here. Really looking forward to the opportunity to be the head baseball coach here at Mississippi State. We were able to get out on the field. We had 10 practice dates after I took the job, and there were great days on the field. The weather was outstanding. We didn't have any days that were lost due to the weather. It gave us a really good snapshot of what our team could be like this spring in terms of being able to see all the pitchers on the mound 2 or 3 times. Gave me a chance to see all of our hitters hit up to 20, 30 times in the last 10 days of fall practice. I thought our energy was outstanding on the field every day. Guys were excited to get to the park. Guys were ready to be coached. Guys were ready to get out there and show a brand new coach what they could do. And one of the first things I told them was, it didn't matter to me what the first 4 or 5 weeks of the fall were like. I had 10 days to see you, to evaluate you, and I wasn't concerned about how the first month of the fall went. I was just looking forward to seeing what you could do and the things that you could show me in the last 10 days on how you're going to be able to help contribute to our team this year. And I thought our guys did an outstanding job. Like I said, they were extremely coachable. They played hard every single day. They just really showed me that baseball is important to them. And they take a lot of pride in their game. They take a lot of pride in the university that they attend. And they want to be great. So that's one of the things that really excites me, that I'm fortunate enough to be at a program where baseball really matters. And there's been such a past and so much pride and tradition with this university with baseball that I really do feel like I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world to be the head baseball coach here. We just announced our 2017 signing class this morning. It's a class that I'm extremely excited about. There's so many different parts and pieces that go into putting a signing class together. It takes a total staff effort to understand what you need moving forward with your program. Being able to identify guys that are going to be leaving your program due to graduation, guys that are going to be leaving your program due to the Major League Baseball draft every year, and trying to just go out and find the very best players in the state of Mississippi, in the South, and nationally that can help Mississippi State continue to win the SEC this upcoming season and years to come in the future, and then ultimately help Mississippi State win its first ever national championship. So this class we're extremely excited about because it has so many high ceiling type of players. Position player wise, I really believe it's one of the very best groups of position players in the country. Several of the outfielders that signed with us last week during signing period, several of these guys are top 50, top 75 type players in the country. We've got guys that participated on the Team USA team this past summer that won a gold medal. We had guys that were in those trials all summer long. Position players that are really going to be impact players in this program, in my opinion, the minute they step on campus. These are guys that have an incredible feel to hit the baseball, high-level baseball IQs. Their tool packages in terms of the positions that they profile out to play are exactly what we're looking for. You've got several guys that can really, really run. We've got 2 or 3 guys that are several of the fastest guys in the entire country. We've got several guys that we feel like can come in here and hit in the middle of our order, drive the ball out of the park, hit home runs, drive runs in. We've got guys that are plus defenders all over the field, position player-wise. So really excited about our group of position players that we have coming in. On the mound, it was built with power arms in mind. I'm a really big believer that you need power arms to win in this league. And what I mean by power arms is we need guys that are big and strong and physical that can get on the mound, run their fastballs into the mid-90s with really good secondary pitches. We want guys that are a minimum 2-pitch guy, ideally starters that are 3-pitch guys. Several of our guys in this signing class are 3-pitch mix guys, fastball, curveballs, and changeups, low to mid-90s with really good breaking balls and a feel for changeups. We also were able to sign several power-armed guys that we feel could fit in the bullpen for us. Maybe they're a 2-pitch guy with a really big fastball. We have several guys. We had 5 guys in this signing class that run their fastball north of 95 miles per hour. Several of these guys are junior college kids that could be coming in here that can make an immediate impact with that transition and the acclimation period to a college campus shouldn't be overwhelming to these guys, where in terms of their very first fall here, they could step on the mound, throw the ball in the mid-90s with good secondary stuff, and get our guys out. So several guys, like I said, that throw the ball above 95 miles per hour with good sliders. Several younger kids with 3-pitch mixes that we feel can be weekend starters in this league. So tremendous group of guys that signed with us last week. I'm extremely proud of our staff for all their work that they put in to get these guys to campus, to get them to come visit, and then ultimately see these guys all the way through to National Signing Day. So it's a tremendous effort by our guys. Our recruiting coordinator, Will Coggin, did an outstanding job of really keeping the class together when there was so much transition going on for the last month, that type of thing. So I really want to give him a lot of credit for all of his hard work, all of his effort in putting this class together, keeping this class together, and he does such an outstanding job of selling Mississippi State University. He's truly a guy that bleeds maroon, so he's a guy that played here, he's coaching here now, he loves the university, and is really proud to be a part of the baseball program here. Gary Henderson, our pitching coach, did a fantastic job of identifying a lot of these arms that we talked about in terms of guys that can step in right away and help us compete for another SEC championship. So tremendous amount of respect for our entire staff. I want to give those guys a lot of props for all their work and their effort in continuing to make Mississippi State baseball one of the very best programs in the country.
Coming out of fall with the varsity here, health-wise, how are the guys projected spring? Should everybody be available?
Yeah, we had a really good fall in terms of production, but then we had a really good fall in terms of guys being able to answer the bell, particularly on the mound. Guys were constantly able to take the ball, go get their innings. So in terms of weekend rotation, we have several guys, and that's going to be an ongoing battle all the way up until, our very first game mid-February. We've got several really good options that could certainly fit on the weekend for us. These guys are going to continue to have the opportunity to earn and win that playing time and earn that mound time as we go into practice at the end of January and into February. So one of the things we talk about with our players all the time is every single day we take that field is an opportunity to win and earn playing time. And so those guys did a great job, like I mentioned, in those last 10 days in terms of going out there and competing for innings and competing for playing time and doing everything they could to show the new guy in town that they could help this team win another SEC championship.
Do you know when you're going to cut the roster down, or are you going to wait till the first game?
Yeah, that's, those are things that our staff is meeting about on a daily basis. And obviously with me only being here for 10 days, I'm really going to rely on our entire staff, our entire building, on what they saw this fall, go off of what these guys have done in the past, decide who can help us, who are the very best 35 guys that can help us win another SEC championship. And ultimately, those guys will answer that on the field as we, get going into January and early parts of February.
How much easier has this transition been from assistant to head coach when you have your AD, the former head coach, and you have your pitching coach, a former head coach in the SEC? Has that made things easier for you?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, John Cohen, I couldn't ask to work for a better boss in terms of someone that has been a head coach in the SEC for as many years as he has a tremendous knowledge of the league, knows what it takes to win in this league, and now to have him as the athletic director, just knowing that he is always going to be looking out for the baseball program and understanding what type of resources you're going to need to compete in this league is a great thing for us to have as a baseball program. In terms of our building every day, Gary Henderson has been tremendous. I spend a lot of time in his office on a daily basis just asking questions, bouncing ideas off of him, trying to just, speed up that learning curve in terms of, okay, I've been on the job for 2 weeks now. Hey, I want to do this and I want to do this. What do you think's the best way to go about this? And Gary's been tremendous in terms of, saying, hey, that's a great idea. And even if you add this could eliminate these things moving forward if you continue to, expand on what you want to talk about and move forward a little bit. So Gary's been a tremendous sounding board for me in the office every day, and he's one of the very best pitching coaches in the country. So, Gary having the autonomy with our pitching staff to be able to do the things that he wants to do, run his bullpens the way he wants to run them, his throwing programs, coordinate the innings during scrimmages. I couldn't ask for a better pitching coach in the country to be with me right now than Gary Henderson is.
You've obviously been around the game a long time, first head coaching. Is there anything that has caught you off guard, or has surprised you, or been a little bit difficult so far?
Nothing that certainly has been too much or overwhelming. I think I've really enjoyed being on the field every single day with our guys, just being able to coordinate practices, being able to talk to hitters, being able to talk to pitchers, work with outfielders, work with infielders, really just being able to have your hands on the entire practice on a day-to-day basis has been a really cool feeling. There's several times out there the first couple of days of fall for us when I was here where I just found myself kind of chuckling, like thinking, how cool is this right now? That here we are in the middle of practice and man, I am the head baseball coach at Mississippi State. This is incredible, so had several of those moments early on the first couple of days. And then, just trying to show a new group of guys that I'm here for these kids. And I want to, help each and every one of these guys become the very best hitter, the very best pitcher, infielder, outfielder, catcher that I can possibly help them to become. So all of our guys have tremendous goals in this game. They all want to be professional players at some point in their career, and I just want to be able to do everything I can to help them achieve all their dreams that they want to do in baseball.
With Henderson and Cohen there, is there a pressure almost? Is there a negative to that too, that you're not kind of overlooking your shoulder, being like, I hope they don't think I'm an idiot for doing something this move or that move?
No. I think first and foremost, I think you need to have, and I certainly do, a supreme confidence in your ability to know the game and to be able to run the program the way you want it to run it. John has had so much success here at Mississippi State, and there are so many things that I want to continue to incorporate into our daily practices. A lot of some of the things that John and his previous staffs have done because they've had so much success doing it that way. So I think some of the things that they've done in the past, combined with the ideas and new things that I want to do, I think if we can, mesh those two together, then I think it's got a chance to really blow up and completely become the best place in America to play baseball.
The roster lost a lot in the draft last year. You being a former scout yourself, how much talent is still left over here?
tremendous amount of talent. You know, obviously competing against Mississippi State last year 4 times like we did at LSU, that was a really good team, you know, and they had a great mix of power arms on the mound. They had a great mix of veteran position players, and that was evident by the number of draftees that they had by the Major League Baseball draft. At the same time, though, Mississippi State has done a really good job recruiting the last couple of years. So, yes, there was a big hit through the draft last year, but at the same time, there are a lot of new names and new faces that maybe Mississippi State fans don't necessarily know about, but these kids are equally as talented as the previous group. They just haven't had that time yet on the field to show these great fans how good that these new crop of guys are going to be. So, certainly lost a lot of guys last year, a lot of production evident by the draft and evident by winning the SEC last year. But I almost look at this year's team in the same way that I looked at our team last year at LSU, where we had lost 8 of our 9 position players to the draft. We had lost our top couple arms, that type of thing. It was a brand new team last year at LSU. And it was kind of the same way where you look every day at practice and go, these new guys are really good players, and then field questions from our media down there about how much talent is left over, and I would answer it the same way, saying, listen, these guys are extremely talented, they're really hungry, they want to be great, they just haven't had their opportunity yet to get out on the field and show everybody how good these guys are going to be. So I think with the newness out on the field and the youth, I think there's a lot of new energy, new excitement, new daily grind from these guys to go out and win a job, rather than maybe sometimes where you have some older kids that are just looking forward to getting to the season, where these younger guys are eager to win a job and show a brand new head coach that they can impact this program in a positive way.
Was there a position player or a pitcher that stood out to you in the final 10 days of practice that you got to see?
You know, that's a great question. A lot of guys stood out to me in a positive way. I think I was really looking forward to seeing Connor Pilkington every day out on the mound, you know, just kind of being around him, seeing how his day-to-day, attitude is, and seeing how he goes about his business every day. I was extremely impressed with Connor for the last 2 weeks of fall. He's certainly a big, strong, physical kid, like I like. That's going to run his fastballs into the low 90s with really good secondary stuff. He pitched great against us last year in Baton Rouge for the first couple of innings. It might have been one of the hottest days in the year. I think ultimately just kind of ran out of gas somewhere in the middle part of the game against us. But tremendous upside with Connor. I think he has a chance to be one of the top arms in the SEC moving forward, and really excited about him on the mound. Position player-wise, there were several guys that I was really excited and eager to be around. Everybody knows Jake Mangum, of course, and he's tremendous. He's equally as great of a kid off the field as he is between the lines, ability-wise. And that was one of the very first things that I was impressed with Jake about, was just his makeup, his character, his willingness to learn. He's a worker. He wants to be great. Really impressed with him. So Pilkington and Mangum were certainly 2 guys that I was impressed with. Brent Rooker was another guy. Tremendous makeup from that guy. Just the type of leader that you want on your team. Had a tremendous year last year. Turned the draft down, returned this year. I think he's primed to have a gigantic season for us this year. Really looking forward to the production that he's going to have in terms of hitting somewhere in the middle of the lineup for us, kind of being one of those home run producer type of guys for us, but just a great clubhouse guy and a leader first and foremost.
Coach, what are your thoughts about branding with your bats? I mean, you had good success with Emory and Baton Rouge. Is there an agreement going forward, or will it still be kind of a player's choice?
Yeah, obviously this university is blessed with a tremendous Adidas contract, and so Adidas has us decked out head to toe, and it's a great thing. I mean, our guys are loaded down with gear, anything and everything imaginable Adidas. But the bats, we're able to use any type of make and model that we want. So our equipment room, guys, is loaded with every single bat that is made on the aluminum bat market. every size, anything that you can imagine that is made, we have in our equipment room, and our guys can use any of those at any time they want. It really is a tremendous deal for us because it allows each and every one of our guys to use the bat that is the best feel for them. So I don't really know too much about what those contracts look like moving forward, but for the time being, it's a tremendous asset for us as a baseball program, a tremendous recruiting tool when we can bring in prospective student athletes and let them see that equipment room and let them pick out a bat that they want, because a lot of them ask what type of bats that we use because they use one bat and don't want to swing the other. So here at Mississippi State, they have the best of both worlds. They get the very best stuff from Adidas, and then in terms of bats, they can use any make or model they want to, whatever is the best feel for them and can help them be the very best offensive player they could possibly be.
Any other questions? What's your schedule for winter, small groups, and then getting into spring? What do you have in mind?
Sure. Once we come back from the winter break, we'll start off. We'll have several team meetings where we kind of want to talk verbally about the groundwork and the way we're going to approach the next couple of weeks up into the season, where then we'll ultimately break up into small groups, where we'll have 3-on-1, 4-on-1 type of work groups where our guys are getting back acclimated onto the field again, and then we'll progress into inter squads and scrimmages where our pitchers are going to continue to build those innings moving forward, getting themselves ready for the upcoming season. So just a lot of excitement, a lot of really good things that are going on in this program. Our players are going to be busy in finals here for the next week or so. We want to do the very best we can in the classroom. It's one of the things that I really stress, and one of the things that I really took from my previous job in head coach Paul Maneri, that did such a great job with our guys, preparing them academically each and every year to allow those guys to go off and have success for the rest of their life. And that's one of the things we want to have here. We want to have great players, we want to have great students, we want to have great kids, and I want that total package type of player, not just one or the other. So I know they're out there. This university and baseball program is one of the very best programs in the country. We're going to continue to identify the very best players in the country and try to attract those guys to Mississippi State University and help us win the SEC and try to help us win that very first national championship.
How many weeks did you say for spring for teamwork?
Gosh, I actually have to look at the calendar. I think we have about a month before our first game, maybe 3.5, 4 weeks, that type of thing, when we first get out on the field to our very first ball game. So we'll certainly be ready to go by opening weekend. I think the most important thing is just to make sure that you can get all your pitchers back out on the mound again, letting those guys build up their pitch counts, letting them build up their innings. So when the season does get here and the lights come on and there's 12,000 people here, that our guys are ready to go and it's still in the, acclimation period to the baseball field again. So we'll be ready to go. We're going to work extremely hard, looking forward to the season. A lot of bright things ahead for this program.
Any other questions?